I really got to hand it to Asus for coming out with one of the best mice releases of the year. I have had a ton of mice come through my office. Not all of them I've looked at on the channel, but this ROG Harp Ace Extreme is definitely one of my favorites. This thing has an absolutely amazing unboxing experience that you guys are watching right now, and it comes with so many value adds. And especially for $249, it really better. After you unbox this mouse, you probably won't need anything else. You get your wireless dongle, 8K polling rate booster to use this thing up to 8K on wired or wireless, a carrying case to come with you, charging cable, glass mouse feet, as well as additional PTFE mouse feet in addition to the PTFE mouse feet that are already on the mouse. And this thing is just an absolute dream to use. I just use it in its stock form with the PTFE mouse feet and the 8K polling rate booster. I reduced the 8K down to 2000 hertz polling rate for two reasons. A, I normally do use 2K hertz polling rate for all of my testing, and B, in most games you don't have any issues on 2K. Sometimes the games will do well on 4K, and then most of the time whenever I'm using a mouse that's running at 8K, I typically run into issues in game. But it could be my computer because I have a ton of stuff plugged in for work and all that, so all my USB ports are full. But trying the 8K in the two games that I usually play, Destiny 2, XDefiant, it doesn't really work that well. So in those two specific games, they just might not support 8K, which I'm pretty sure is probably the case. Getting back to the topic at hand, the ROG Harpe Ace Extreme. Here we have the carbon fiber shelled mouse. This thing is absolutely insane. So you have carbon fiber on the top and for the front two triggers, and RGB scroll wheel as well. I have it set to the minimum 25% brightness right now just to make the battery life as long as possible. And the battery life is also really good. The side buttons are quite nice. We'll test those out shortly. And then we have the bottom of the mouse, which is made of plastic. This is a nylon plastic, obviously just to make sure that your wireless transmission is going smoothly and you're not gonna get any connection interruptions. Super simple controls on the mouse. You got your DPI and your pair button. Then you also have wired mode, Bluetooth mode, and wireless mode with that 2.4 gigahertz dongle that supports between 1000 hertz to 8000 hertz, wired and wireless. Skate design, I do have my old ROG Harpe Ace Aim Lab edition. This is just the first version that was just, you know, all plastic, a bit heavier as well, but I definitely can tell the weight difference in hand. It's not much, but you definitely can tell, because I believe this mouse at the full price was about $150. This one is $250, and you definitely do get a higher quality level of build and additional features, as well as a lot of feature parity. Usually when you go to these super lightweight mice, they typically drop the Bluetooth connectivity, and this one did it, so that's really impressive. You don't have a spot to hold your dongle built into the mouse anymore, but again, like I said, they do give you that carrying case, which is quite nice. Now, in terms of the weight on both mice, we have 54 grams on the ROG Harpe Ace Aim Lab edition without the dongle. And then on the Harpe Ace Extreme, we are down to 47 and some change. So roughly about 48 grams with the Extreme version. And that's actually, again, a little bit of a noticeable improvement in the hand. I can definitely feel the difference in weight. It's not massive, but more so the Harpe Ace Aim Lab edition does feel more back heavy, and the Extreme definitely feels more balanced. So they did work on other things internally to make sure that the weight balance doesn't feel either top heavy or rear heavy in any way. This is a very well balanced mouse. So we can kind of see that here. It is a slightly shorter mouse, definitely still a claw grip mouse though. And then we see the side button configuration is slightly different, but this has not proven to be an issue for me at all. In terms of the switches, we are using the ROG micro switches, and here is a quick sound test. And then we also have the ROG Aimpoint Pro optical sensor tracks up to 42,000 DPI, which nobody's ever going to use. I have mine set to 1600 DPI, and it also features ROG specific track on glass technology, and it works super well. Like using this thing on a glass mouse pad, I don't have any tracking issues where I feel like my mouse might be skipping around. Not to say that I have had that issue in the past on other mice, but I'm sure like if you have one that does not have a sensor that's really dialed in and you are playing at that professional level, it's probably going to be best to have your best foot forward in that situation where you're playing against other top tier players. You want to make sure that you have the absolute best tracking technology in the game. No issues using it on glass. I still prefer to use a cloth mouse pad over glass though, just because I find that cloth is more consistent for me, but we are currently testing out a new glass mouse pad that I do want to put on the channel pretty soon, and this one has been working really well for me in game, so maybe that will change in the near future. Now, getting back to this mouse, the PTFE skates work super well. I don't really find that I need mouse grips for this mouse, but grabbing all the additional accessories that it came with, if I did want to use the mouse grips, these do feel quite nice, and they do feel a little bit less sticky than the Pulsar Super Grips. Those are a little nuts. I do like the Super Grips quite a bit, but they are a little extreme. This, on this ROG Extreme, not necessarily as necessary to be super duper grippy, but these would definitely be quite nice. But I don't want to cover up this beautiful carbon fiber. Like, this looks absolutely sick, just having this almost exposed carbon fiber. Then you have your ROG logo at the back here, but this thing just looks absolutely sick. It feels sick in the hand. It's super comfortable for a claw grip. It works absolutely perfectly, and I really don't have any complaints. I mean, for $250, think about it. Glass mouse skates on average is going to cost you probably 15-20 bucks, right? You get an extra pair of PTFE feet. You get mouse grips. Let's say these are $10, right? That's probably 40 bucks right there. And then you also have a cleaning kit. I mean, that's cool. I haven't had a mouse come with a cleaning kit before, so that's new. When was the last time you got a mouse box that was this cool? We have the carrying case for the Harpe Extreme. Gonna do a quick little in-depth look here. Oh, you know, this is the cable for, this is the charging cable for the mouse, which you can actually see is kind of angled upward when you plug it in so that it's not going to drag on your mouse pad and cause you issues. So when you do need to play and charge it, you're pretty much good to go, and you don't have to worry about any additional drag from your mouse charging. But very nicely folded up. But as we nicely organize our carrying case, we have our cable extender, and then we have the ROG polling rate booster here. This is what's enabling that 8,000 hertz polling rate. And then the dongle that we have itself is the ROG Omni dongle. So if you have multiple wireless ROG devices like a keyboard and a mouse, you will be limited to 1,000 hertz polling rate, but you are able to use just one dongle. So if you're traveling and you want to travel pretty light, kind of, you know, make sure that you don't forget too many things at home or while you're traveling. But this carrying case, honestly, pretty good value proposition, especially given the premium materials. No performance issues whatsoever. I don't have anything that I would change about this mouse. I really don't. Could the mouse be a bit lighter? But then if it was, you would be omitting features, omitting some of the build quality that is absolutely top tier with this thing. I don't really know if it would be worth it. But what I do know that is worth it, 250 bucks, I think is a pretty fair price considering that the final mouse was $200. Granted, it's lighter, but $200 plus shipping, and you got a significantly less cool unboxing experience, way less goodies in the box, where this is gonna be, you know, from very, very recognized company, Asus, obviously, for both good and bad. But this is definitely one of their shining stars, and I think one of their best releases of the year.